The Weeks team would love to help you with your mortgage financing in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. We want to be your loan officer. So you're thinking of buying a house. Well, what I want you to know is it is not as difficult as it seems. It's really not. And I know it's a big, scary thing. Listen, when people are out looking at houses and talking to realtors, that seems to be the really easy part because people are not ashamed or afraid to go ahead and call that realtor, see that house, so on and so forth. But when it comes to getting pre-approved, a lot of people get a little nervous. And a lot of people don't want to take that next step. And calling the mortgage lender can be scary. And it's like you're, totally exposed to these people because they need to see and know everything. And it can be a little intimidating. I don't want you to be afraid. Now, if you're in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, or Florida, the Weeks team can help you. If you're not in one of those states, then you just want to find a loan officer that you're super comfortable with. When it comes to buying a house, step number one, you've got to get the pre-approval before you call the realtor, before you start looking at the house, because we want to make sure, one, that you can even get that house. Two, we want to make sure that you are in the right price range for your expectations. Now, don't get me wrong. You might be looking at a $350,000 house, and I can approve you for that all day long. But if that does not align with your goals for monthly payment, cash out of pocket, those two things along with that sales price, then it does no good to get you pre-approved for that amount. We've got to discuss all the goals. The first thing you want to do, like I said, get pre-approved. The second thing, you want to make sure that you've got acceptable credit. The number seems to move, but an average credit score is around 700. Anything above 740 is considered excellent in the mortgage world. So you always want to strive for that 740. But remember I said it's not hard to get pre-approved. Generally speaking, you can have as little as a 620 and get financing. Heck, if you've got a big down payment, you might even get financed with a 580. It's a lot more difficult, but not always impossible. So you want to strive for that 740, but really have at least a 640, even though sometimes you can get away with 620 and sometimes you can get away with a 580. A lot of us don't fit in the additional requirements that come along with those lower credit scores. The next thing you want to do is when you've got that application complete with the loan officer, when you make sure that you're comfortable with that loan officer, when you make sure that not only you did the application online, but you had that consultation with the loan officer and you definitely discussed your three goals: sales price goal, cash out of pocket goal, and monthly payment goal. They've got to have that to make sure that you are all on the same page. The next step is they're going to be asking you for paperwork. Get that paperwork to them super urgently. Be organized with it. Get it to them all at once and don't leave anything out. If you think maybe they don't need the next page of my tax return, we totally do. Maybe you think you don't need page 5 of that bank statement because it's blank, but it says 5 of 5 and we totally need that too. So always assume we need more. Never assume we need less. We can always, shuffle through things that we don't need, but it's way better than causing a delay because now you haven't provided something, so we can't complete that pre-approval. Once you've got that pre-approval, then the next step is the really exciting part where then you can get in touch with a realtor. You've got a solid pre-approval letter. You know what to expect because you know the range of the monthly payment in the range of price that you're spending. You have an idea of what you'll need out of pocket and you're comfortable with that. And now you've got time and room and effort and really good basis to go ahead and start shopping for that property. Once you pick that realtor and you find that particular home, you're going to make an offer on that home. A lot of people do get confused. Why is there so much information needed to put in the offer? But not only are you going to have to know the sales price you're willing to pay and offer, you're going to have to know whether or not you're going to be required to sell another property to get that property. You're going to have to list and know whether you're required to request any closing costs or prepaids from that seller. They're going to have to know what kind of loan that you're getting. And you might think, why is it their business? Well, if you're a seller, and you've got an offer where they're getting 100% loan and they need $5,000 in closing, and you've got an offer where they're doing a conventional loan with 30% down, they don't need your closing, well, that might make a difference in whose offer that you take. So they're gonna need to know your financing. They're gonna need to know the max interest rate that you're willing to pay. That'll even be on the contract, and a number of other things. So don't be surprised when the realtor asks you some questions that you're like, why in the heck are you asking that? It's totally part of the process, and it's part of that contract. Now, once you've made that offer and the seller responds, they may reject your offer. They may never respond to your offer if they believe it's too low or insulting, or they can accept your offer, which, let's go with, they accepted it and you're moving to that next step, which is super exciting. It's not required by the lender, but is always suggested by me and the Weeks team. Always, 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 say that 3 more times, get a home inspection to protect yourself. Now, the inspection's done, you get the report, you may decide that it's fine and you need no repairs. You may decide that you need repairs, which the seller can accept and agree to do, or reject that as well, and then you'll have to go through those negotiations. Once you are under contract and you're past inspections, the next thing is you'll sign a bunch of documents from your lender, and they'll move on to ordering title and ordering appraisal. We want to make sure that there's clear title to pass to you. You want that as well to be protected. And then they want to make sure that you're not overpaying for the property, to make sure that we're not lending too much and you're not paying too much. Quick little side note, if you haven't liked the video, please do. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I'm Stephanie, and I've been helping people with their mortgage financing for over 18 years. I also wrote the book Mortgage Peace, which you can check out and purchase on Amazon. So thank you so much for your support there. Anyway, so we've got appraisal done, hopefully good, title done, hopefully good, going through the final underwrite. There's a few steps in there, but I'm trying to keep it simple for you for this video today. We go through final underwrite, and hopefully you get that final approval, which you can move on then to having your closing. Now that you've gone to closing, just keep in mind, almost always your payment is going to be due on the 1st of the month, but late by the 16th, so you've got that 15-day grace period. Now, I know I've gone a little bit long here, and I've talked to you more about kind of like the overview of the process, but I do believe that this goes hand in hand with how do you start the process and how do you buy a home. I believe this is a good quick overview, and I hope that you believe it too. Please drop me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Give me some feedback. I've actually done some other videos because of comments asking for certain videos to be recorded, and I'm happy to do that for you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. I would love to be your lender. My team would love to help you if you're in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, or Florida. If you're in other states, I can't help, but I hope that this information has been really helpful to you. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.